PMG fam, what is going on? It's almost like it's a freestyle Friday on a Tuesday. How are y'all doing? Got some people in the house. What's going on, Asta? All the way in Fiji. ATL. From Fiji to ATL. Don't you like that? PMG is deep. Okay. We're just getting started having fun. It is so good to see everybody here. We got Mir. What's going on in Canada? What's going on in Canada? We're going to have some fun. I'm going to show you guys tonight that your gut was telling you right, okay? When you understood that there was potential in this AI thing, you moved early. I'm going to show you it's going to pay off. And I'm going to show you that regardless of how some of you think, even though you're in the top % of AI engineers, you don't realize it. So you think you're behind or you think you can't keep up. I'm going to show you that you're way ahead tonight, and it's going to be more undeniable. What's going on, Robert? He and I talk almost every day, and he saw the same thing I did, Robert did, about MCP. What was the guy's name? Good Luck Chuck. I love that guy. Good Luck Chuck. Not Good Luck Chuck. What was it? Network Chuck. Network Chuck. I'll have to find his YouTube and put him up there talking about MCP. MCP is where it's at. What's going on, Jose? Good to see you, my man. Puerto Rico. Oh, my Android phone is going off. I hear that. Somebody might have sent me a push notification. Yeah, we got the email. The email works. If you're here from the email, let us know. Did it work? Did it get you here? I think it might have. I think it might have. Okay, what's going on? Oh, yeah. Sheets is our thing many years back. This is going to be epic. We've got some new things, some new Google Sheets things tonight that no one knows about. And it's something that is just going to be super awesome. What is going on? So good to see you. Thank you for all you do. Let's start sharing our screen here. Let's have some fun. First of all, has anyone heard about the little word from OpenAI the other day? Was it today or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. They're launching something, but it's not fun really, right? But it's interesting. I share my screen here and let's take a look at it together. Because at first I thought, I was like, okay, look at what we got here. OpenAI launches the OpenAI deployment company. Like, okay, from the model provider that has the most totally off the wall, illogical naming conventions for their models that don't make any sense, that they're just so vague. Basically, they're direct with this one, the OpenAI deployment company, to help businesses build around intelligence. What a fun way to sell this, right? I look at this and I think, okay, this is one of the most well-funded companies in history. Everything that they do, I'm going to look at as the template, maybe, right? I think that would be a smart play in certain cases. So they're selling not chatbots, although I love chatbots, not agents, which is what we are all making now, even if you're making a chatbot. What they are selling or trying to sell here is intelligence. And I think that's a very interesting way to frame it. It's their very top headline. So pay attention to that. Interesting. If you're like a lot of people, you don't want to read the whole thing, you can listen to it. Okay, that's a smart move. Something more that they can sell. They're gauging the interest on and such. 11 Labs has had that for a long time. I'm not going to read all of this, but what I'm going to tell you is, I think the last time we were hanging out, I think it was the stat that just came out. I think it's over 50% of people now in the United States are using AI in their workplace in some fashion, in some way. AI is becoming capable of doing increasingly meaningful work inside organizations. The challenge now is helping companies integrate these systems into the infrastructure and workflows that power their businesses. DeployCo, what a funny name. DeployCo is designed to help organizations bridge that gap and turn AI capability into operational impact. So it's going to be very interesting to see how much they shed light on this operation, how they do things. It may be a great blueprint for many of us to follow. It may be something that they're doing like everyone else, like you are doing. They're figuring it out as they go. Your network is your net worth in a lot of ways. I think we've said that before. Their network is going to be deep. Okay. So like this service is not for your local restaurant. It's not for your restaurant group even. It's not for independent hotel chains. Sorry. It might be for like the Hiltons or the Marriotts, like the largest in the game. They've got to sell subscriptions and they've got to sell some tokens fast. Okay. They're on they got some pressure. But I think it'll be interesting to see what it is that they end up offering, because one of the biggest advantages that we've had for multiple years at this point is we are LLM agnostic. While we like OpenAI, we have spent billions of tokens, quite literally. We have all of the things, which is the big advantage. We're not limited. And in this case, we're not going to use OpenAI at all for the most part. We're going to use old Kaladi Boy. So they've got ads going on. They've got some kind of student club that's good for PR. And they've got this news here, open development. What do you guys think about that? I think it's going to be very interesting to watch. And what is the difference going to be in their current like enterprise offering? And hopefully it's just going to give us a lot of great ideas on top of what we've already got. And what we already have is just so much. So let's go ahead and see you later, OpenAI. And let's go into Claude. And I did just make an update. So I'm going to go to my settings. And I'm going to go to connectors. Am I going to go to connectors? Or are we going to go to customize now? Is it changed on me? No problem. So here we are on customize/connectors. They gave us the warning forever that we're going to change that. So maybe they have now. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect. Right. First, I'll disconnect. And then I'm going to connect. This is going to give me fresh settings. A fresh start, as they say. We've got 75 tools, and they're very, very powerful. So here's our tools here. I'm going to go always allow for me. And I did that last time too. That's Facebook ads. I'm going to go here, always allow, always allow. This might be working for you already. Facebook, mcp.facebook.com/ads. You could try that. I think Wendy has a couple of our accounts enabled, but I haven't got too deep in it myself yet. So now we're connected and we're going to have some fun. And like Asta said in the thumbnail, hopefully you saw that, we're going to let AI run our sheets. Okay. And it's going to all start with a Google Sheet. I'm going to start with showing you my favorite workflow of 2026 and almost just about ever. Okay. I love working in this way. And I can tell you, I've built many, many flows myself. I've made many, many Google Sheets myself. It's not the best use of my time to create a Google Sheet and come up with the headers and map everything out. And I've owned that. Okay. And now I want you to do the same thing. Your time is more valuable than to fiddle around with doing agent work, is what we're going to refer to it as. So what I want to do first is let's come up with the thing we want to do. I've done this a few times, but if this is your first time seeing it, or if this is the first time you can really pay attention since you're deeper into the PMG journey, I think this will be helpful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a website, and I'm also going to create a flow. I'm also going to create a webhook, enable that with that flow. And when the website has a contact form submitted, the flow is going to be triggered. And what I want that flow to do is populate the Google Sheet. And we'll do something extra fun with the Google Sheet in a little bit, but that's the idea. So in one prompt, we're going to create a website that is going to be able to capture leads, that will send the lead information with all the details through a flow to land on Google Sheets. And maybe I'll get a phone call to tell me I got the lead. That might be a good idea too. That's always kind of fun. So here we go. Get our prompt engineering hats on. We want you to create a lead generation system for our AI agency. So I want you to create a Google Sheet, and then I want you to create a flow that'll populate that Google Sheet. And I want a dark mode landing page called Ryan's AI Agency in dark mode with pink accents with a simple form that will trigger the flow's webhook. Once the flow triggers, I want the information to hit the Google Sheet, and I also want to be called on my phone with the information. Okay, so this is a major prompt. This is a big boy prompt or a big girl prompt, okay? You're not going to find this kind of prompt in the average Facebook group or the average Discord. Even in Claude code, this is almost unthinkable what we're doing here with one prompt. We're not getting a plan back. We could. We're going to get the whole thing, hopefully the whole shebang in one go. And to me, this is like when this was like the first time I saw an LLM really work, I was amazed. I always thought we would have that time where you could just type something in like the Microsoft Word interface, write this report, write this document. I always thought that would be like as maxed out as we could get. But no, I was wrong. We've got so much more already. The Google Sheet's been created. The flow has been created. I could not even navigate into the platform faster than what's happening right here. So the Google Sheet's already done. The flow is already created. The nodes are hooked together correctly. We'll check it. Now, what'll take the longest here is the landing page because we're coding it from scratch. Now, we can get fancy with our landing pages and you can build whole websites. You can paygate your website. You can have Google Sheets be a data source for your website. This could be a great solution for blogs, by the way. Now our website is done. The live landing page. Look at that. So it says the live landing page is here. Google Sheets is here. The flow is here. I'm going to fill out the form and we should see, I'll get a phone call if this works the way we want. Drop a fake lead yourself to confirm. Yeah, I'll say, yeah, go ahead and fill out the form, buddy. Let's see if it works. Well, let's open up the Google Sheet first. So here's our Google Sheet. And there it is, labeled perfectly. The columns are looking nice. He's going to trigger the flow now. Oh, Claude. He's going to trigger the flow, and we should see this information populate this. There it is. And look, here's the phone call. Here's the phone call.
Hey, Ryan, this is your AI agency lead bot. You just got a new lead. The name is Test Lead Chatbot King. Their email is test@ryansaiagency.com. Their phone is +184 3505 1657. Their business is Low Country Test Co. And their project details are, I need a 24/7 AI receptionist that books appointments, qualifies leads, and texts me when a hot one comes in. Also want it tied to my CRM. Follow up with them as soon as you can.
That's amazing.
Glad you think so. Would you like me to repeat any of those details for you?
No, I'm good for now. Bye. Okay, so it worked perfectly. What just happened? Claude just built the whole thing end to end. It created the Google Sheet. Then what did it do? Then it created a flow. Here's the flow it created. Look at this, guys. Claude made this flow. I didn't do it. I just told Claude what to do. I orchestrated this and it manifested. It's here. It's rocking. Look at all the time that I have saved myself. All of the fields are correctly mapped to the Google Sheet. The reason that was able to happen, by the way, is the Google Sheet was created first. That's the secret sauce to the whole process, really. So that way we have the sheet ID all correct and all Gucci, man. Then once the information has hit the sheet, we've got another action here for the outbound call. It knew my number from previous conversations. I'm the owner, and Claude knows that. Claude respects that, right? And so it chose the best phone number it could. It was, in this case, it was the first phone number because I didn't specify the agent or the number. And here's the voice. And then here is the welcome message that you just heard. And all of this is the custom fields that it automatically created. So it had context here. Okay, so this is amazing. Like, okay, now let's look at the landing page to see if it actually is worth anything here. So yep, it's saying it all worked. Let's open up the link to the landing page. Ryan's AI agency. Here's the form. It's super simple. We just wanted one simple thing. And again, we'd be able to just fill out this form. And in this case, I'm going to use a different number. Well, I guess I could use the same number. And I'm going to say, yeah, I've got about $10,000 to spend right now. We should see it sending here. And it should hit our Google Sheet. Okay, so, and here's the phone call. So there's the Google Sheet. Hello?
Hey, Ryan. This is your AI agency lead bot. You just got a new lead. The name is Ryan Baggott.
I am Ryan, right? So it worked perfectly. That's what we wanted to happen. And it says, like, yeah, I've got about $10,000 to spend. Okay, so that's awesome. That's cool. Really nerdy, but cool, right? We can do so much more. We can push this to GitHub. We could send this whole thing to a prospect, but let's do something different. We're using Claude right now, but let's shift gears. Let's now use ChatGPT, but only for the images. We're just going to totally use them for their images and let's leave them. Okay, so let's do this. What kind of products should we sell? We've done pizza. We've done breakfast items. Those are like my two favorites. Do we have any comments that will ask or give us some good ideas? Let's go. Type better. Make sure the sheet is created before the flow. Yes. Writing notes. What should we do? What should we sell? We're going to create the images now. Sell your cab. We've got some for sale still. You can we don't make money off of. We just want you to have them. Wendy could hook you up with the link, I think. Supplements. Okay. Supplements or hats. Supplements and hats. Let's do that. All right, listen. I need you to get in contact with your homie, ChatGPT, and we want to use the new Image 2 model, not the old one. And the goal here is to come up with 6 different products. One is going to be a black and white mesh trucker style hat with the PMG logo on it. The next thing we're going to have is some supplements of some kind. Think of something or look up something that's popular, that's selling right now. And also, let's sell tickets to a live event in Fiji related to AI, and it being a retreat for millionaire agencies or agency owners. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to say, make sure you use only the newest OpenAI image generation and drop the links below. So we're going to get 4 or 5 things. That's such a crazy order on it. Let's search for what's hot in supplements right now and look at saying that it's image 1, but it's not correct. Look, there it is. Found it. Found it. Look how good that is. This is Claude. Claude is a mastermind. It's kind of like bipolar 2, maybe. It's like, okay, GPT image 1 is the current one. Then it says the image 2 series, but then it did find the right one. This GPT image 2 is the newest OpenAI model, even though I just set it up here, but it's going to work. We can see the prompt that Claude's going to give. You could have sat here and we could have made a prompt together, but let's just be real. We would have taken a long time, or I would have at least, and it wouldn't have been as good as whatever this is, which generally I love to read what Claude prompts. It will help you become a better prompt engineer or AI engineer, whatever you prefer. A premium product photograph, black and white mesh trucker style hat. I think that the next thing that we're going to like be amazed with related to media generation, by the way, isn't going to be necessarily the quality, but it'll be the speed or the bulk output fast. I think that's the next thing that we're going to really see and be like, whoa, that's where it's at. And I think that'll probably come from Google next. I think that'll be something, that's my prediction. They're going to come out with something super fast. And I think that the same thing will apply to video. Although the video game is interesting, if you guys are paying attention. Ice cream. Yeah, we could do some ice cream. Generating images as I watch. Yeah, there you go. I'm spending so much tokens. My wife is asking me to start. Okay, so you know, that's funny. Well, here's something that you should really take note of, guys. Okay, so, you know, I was speaking with, well, here we go, we're on product number 3. I was speaking with someone that was telling me a realtor came over to their house and they were using ChatGPT to create like a remodel, like they're taking a picture of a room and maybe they changed the cabinets or changed the shelving, and they did it with ChatGPT. And I don't know what they were doing with those images, but it was like the homeowner was like, that's going to take the place of an interior designer in these in these staging shoots and blah blah blah. And what was funny, just because it's just like seeing it in the wild, the realtor said, well, I've got 2 more images I can send to you, but then after that I'm going to be cut off. I'll be at my limit for the day. And for us that pay for the API, it's like there's no limit except your bank account, your credit card. But to me, like, you know, first of all, I wouldn't tell a client that necessarily, that I'm using ChatGPT and I'm on a limit, because that seems really unprofessional. There's going to be so many people that are doing that. Now, the question is, can you offer something yourself that would solve that problem potentially for that person? And the answer is yes, you could. You know, and how much would they pay for that unlimited? Or, you know, you can put a cap on any agent. How much would they pay? How many images do they want? That's something that you could think about. But I just thought that was so interesting. Like, the subscription limit was what was holding this realtor back from doing more of whatever she wanted to do, which is a problem that we don't have here. And in a solution that all of you guys can provide. And that's like the main thing I want you guys to understand. The solutions that you can provide with this application, legitimately, you have no limit. There's no limit, and there's no excuses anymore to say, I wish the agent could do this, or I wish I could sell that, because at this point, I think we can do anything. Now, some of you guys still bring really good ideas every day, and we try to bring those as fast as we can. But like, we've reached a point where if we call Claude an expert at things, you have an expert doing things for you. I just imagine, you know, if I had, and there are many agencies like this, they'll have several employees that they could have tasked this off to. I mean, think about, first of all, think about me like writing this up as an email to an employee. Like, Wendy would be like, I wrote something crazy like I did up here, right? That's like nothing. But even then, just opening up the programs and the different software that would be required to get this stuff done is just crazy to me. Like, even if you're a Canva genius, opening up Canva and moving things around and like making sure things are perfect here and there. Think of how much time this is going to take. Okay, we are going to have everything done by the time I'm done yapping. Right now, the thing that's taking the longest is just the image generation time itself. But what's happening, again, if you just joined, we're using Claude Boy here. He's already made us a website and a flow, and called me a couple times, but now he's teaming up with another agent called ChatGPT using GPT image 2. Okay, so this is product image number 5, creative performance stack. Creatine powder labeled alpha stack. That's funny. All right, and then here's the Fiji VIP welcome kit, courtesy of Asta, our communications director and everyone's favorite at CBB and PMG. Luxury flat product layout, Fiji retreat VIP welcome kit, white marble surface. That's totally Asta's house. The white marble. AI millionaires retreat. Who did that? Who thought of that? Hyper realistic, ultra luxury brand aesthetics. I'm not prompting like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if I am, like, think of all the time we saved by not prompting it ourselves. In the case you want to do that, you totally can. All right, we should see Claude finish up here. And we've called a lot of tools. Every time you see the logo here, and if you're white label with us, you'll obviously see your logo. Every time you see this is another tool call. I believe there are probably tool calls in between. I think this is a tool call here. Even though it's a Claude internal call, it's searched for the supplements. I think that's wild. All right, so Claude's spinning up here, but I've not really seen Claude fail. I've seen him choke a couple times, but he's not ever like, well, maybe a few times he's said kaput, but like in this case, we're just like maybe coming up on that context window. Is it, correct me if I'm wrong, is it like every million tokens you have to maybe start a new chat or something like that? But let's look at this. Here's our first product, the trucker hat. Boom, boy. That looks good. She just got an error. That looks good. Okay, what else? The Neuro Stack. What is this one? Neuro Stack Brain Energy Formula. Look, that's for Jose. What's the next? The Chatbot King hoodie. That's a good one. I'll probably want to buy that. Oh, that's sick, dude. That's sick. And look, it remembered the pink from earlier from the landing page. It literally matches the landing page. Do you see how that looks? That's so sick. Okay, cool. So here's what we're going to do. Let's do this. Let's make a store. Okay, great. Let's make a new landing page that goes along with the first one that you made. And we also want to first create a new Google Sheet and add those products there. Now, let's not do it that way. Let's just make it totally custom. We don't even need to like force the Google Sheet. So what I want to say is let's make the landing page that goes along with the first one. And this one's going to be the shop. And so I want you to enable real checkout, simple and clean for the products. And they're all going to be $20 each. Then push both of the pages that you made to GitHub. It'll never ever. I'll have to like think of a different way to say GitHub to make it work. Let's see if that works how we want it to. What should happen here? Okay, 2 moves. Build the shop page with the real Stripe checkout. Yes, always allow it. And push both to GitHub. So what it's going to do is it's going to create a new page to the first page that we made. It should create them in the same GitHub repository. And it should link them, basically, is how it should actually work. And we should be able to buy what we want and check out. That's so legit. So it's going to, here's creating the new page. So let's get this. Look at how different this prompt is. This time it is create the dark mode e-commerce shop page, branding and styling. This is like the plan. You know, there's so many people that are using Claude Code and these other tools where they do believe it's so necessary to like micromanage the mess out of Claude, and that's for me, that's typically not the best way to go about it. Now, if you already have the exact information that you absolutely need, throw it in the bag. Just throw it in the prompt, man, for sure. But like, you don't need to micromanage these agents anymore. That's like the cool thing about it. Also, we could be doing this in the UI. But in this case, I just love to see Claude work. Okay, we did make an update, by the way. If you use native agents, so you're using your MCP server inside of your own agent, you can totally do that. We made an update to where now it just basically literally won't ever time out. So you could, it's going by the max number of function call turns that you provide in the settings. I think it's like up to 40 or 50. You could do 50 function calls or use 50 tools in a turn, and you'll get a response now, which is pretty wild. Long running tasks. So now it's pushing both to GitHub, which is exactly what we want again. Hopefully it'll be smart enough to put them in the same repository. It looks like it is. All shipped. So look, it's getting slow. Claude's just like choking a little bit. So it's got the PayMeGPT shop URL. So it did make a shop. I could tell it to make a custom checkout page too. Let's do that. Okay, listen, we want you to create a new landing page, but in this time, instead of a web shop, use the image links that you generated and create a completely custom shopping experience. Custom code that thing like your life depended on it, and enable Stripe checkout. Okay, let's see if it'll do it. I think it will. Let's see what he says. Custom coded, hand built, no template. Nope. You can actually enable Stripe checkout and do it custom with our landing pages. Open your eyes. Let's see if he gets it. Come on, Claude. You're right, my bad. He's getting hung up on the web shop. We don't need the web shop products there, buddy. I think he's going to get it. Let's see. Got it. Web shop checkout. Let's see what he's actually made. Let's click on the GitHub page. So here's the shop. Okay. So he actually did do it, right? I was tripping a little bit. So here is the agency page. We should have him add the shop link to this page. That's what we should do. But we should be able to buy this now. Okay, that's what he did. He made the shop page, which is fine. That's correct. And here, this is your web shop actually. So you could just check right out. Throw it in the bag. Use this card. It's already hit me up because I'm signed in. If this was real, I'd buy it. I really would. That's slick looking. Is this not beautiful? That is slick looking. This is the AI deal. We do have variants now with web shop, which I think is very nice. Okay, let's see what he's done. He's still playing with the shop deal. That's okay. Now he's making a real checkout, it looks like. Let's see. Because you can literally have Coding Agent make you just about anything you want at this point. I made a really cool app I'll show you while this is running. In my opinion, it's cool, but I'm a nerd. I won't lie. I made a checkout. Let's see, where is it? This one. How sick is this? This is a breakfast one here. You can add this to your cart. And I made a little, this is all just one prompt. You throw your email in there, get 2 bowls, and maybe some French toast too. We got all our things in there. Let's add 3 French toasts and click look $62. Buy it now. And here we go. Pay for it right now. It gives you the order right there. Very, very quick, very, very easy. And this thing's still coding out. Pretty much anything that you can think of, you can do it now. I want to see how this is looking. Yeah, now it's like, I think it's really gonna look good now. Stripe wired. It's almost done. Let's see if we got any comments. The shop is beautiful. It really is. I would start. Okay, look. So now it's created everything inside of Claude. And now what it's going to do is it's going to push all that code into a landing page. Publishing. Let's look. Has it made other pages that it's not aware of? There's our breakfast ordering deal. There's the shop. That looks so good. And we need to tell them to just literally, we could say add, we should just tell the coding agent right here. Here's what we'll do. GitHub pages here. Here's our AI agency. We should just be able to, let's look at it this way. This is the shop. I want to see what this is looking like. So, okay, yeah, that's really nice. I think he's just going to make it the correct way this time. Where everything's just in one deal. Let's see. It should just let us check out like we want to. Let's think what we want to do. Let's look and see where we're connected here. There's the shop, this page. Okay, so it just made the repositories the default, so they're separated. That's why it's looking like that. We'll make them connected. Okay, so let's look at the page he made here. Ooh, that's cool looking. Everything is $20 like we asked. Can we add it to the cart? Look, here's the cart. Oh, there we go. That's sick. That's sick. Look at that, dude. Are you serious? Here's our events. We've got 2 events. The AI Millionaire. This is for Robert. Let's add that to the cart. It's only $20. How good. Secure checkout. Okay, so it did bring me back there. That's not what I wanted it to do, but that's okay. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. I've got an idea. I'm going to say, here's all of our products that we just generated. And I'm going to, let's make a new one, a new page inside the UI. Let's just see what we get. Let's say, use the following images as products that are $20 each and enable checkout. And let's bust it out. I'm going to copy this and send it. While this is going, this won't take long. I want to also compare it. I'm going to compare it with, maybe we'll use Grok, or maybe you guys can pick. This is using Claude Haiku 4.5. I want to let this guy run its course. It has 16,000 characters and going. This never gets old to me to just see like the actual work being put in, you know. And I'll also get to show you guys the new inline editor while we're at it. Testimonial section. Just making all the things here. Let's take a peek. So there's our products shining. I like it. It's not the way it'll look. This is just for you to be able to edit the text, which I think we've made a lot easier. We're at 40,000 characters. 40,000 characters. Wonder where it'll end up. Grok is super fast. That's why I like to use it. It'll bust out the same kind of deal, but it's like just. All right, so let's create it and publish it. Let's take a look. PMG store. Okay, so look, here's our products. All that looks good. Buy now. Is that going to let us go to it? Not in this view. That's okay. Let's use the same prompt and let's use Grok instead. Let's just see, and it should be again like super fast. This is 4.3. So same prompt. Oh, but I didn't do it exactly the same. I'm going to make sure I clear it. So it's clear, and then I'll run it. Make sure we're all the same. I'm just going to think a little bit, I think. Say that 3 times fast, and it should just go. Hopefully Grok will rock out for us. Here we go. She's going. See if we have any comments. Let's hook in discount codes from the wallet store. You could do all sorts of stuff like that, really. Looks good. It looks awesome. It looks awesome. Oh, is McNasty here? Where's he at? Did I just see that? Where is he? There he is. What's up, dude? There's our man. Big Daddy. How you doing, dude? There you are. What's going on? Glad to see you. You're the PMG master at this point. You should be teaching a class. So we're going to get our products here. You know what? I think 4.2 is way faster. I think I was mistaken. 4.3 should make something awesome. It's the best one. Everywhere, what you see going on right here, guys, by the way, in the visual editor, it's not going to look like the finished site, because what we're doing is we're trying to make the very best, easiest way for you to just click things to make a change. So if I wanted to change text here, just click and change it. But let's click create and publish, and we'll see what we've got. That looks good. That looks good. I do see that it looks like it's missing some images there, that it was trying to pull like profile image stuff. Benefits that popped right through. All that's good. PMG store, got the year right. The SEO game, very important, right? So you can prompt that now. Ryan's shop. And I can attest in all the real life scenarios, specifically for some politicians right now, the SEO game with our websites is jam up. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we've got that rocking and rolling. Now, what we really want to do to connect the things, I'll show you guys how to do that. So here's the shop, and here's the agency. So what we're going to want to do is click edit here. Well, first, let me just double check what it's called. The repository, because that was made through Claude and it just made it separately. We could probably tell it to make it on its own, but what we'll do is we'll say this is the 13th. Let's instead call this we'll just know this is the agency one. So what we'll do instead, we'll go to the shop and click settings here, GitHub pages, and we're going to actually disconnect, and then we're going to use an existing repository, and it'll be the agency one right here. Okay, and then so let's make the path, and we could just call this shop, and then we can deploy. Perfect. So we've saved it, and now it'll just take a second. But now you can see that we've got 2 pages synced. This is the home page. This is the shop page. And it says here, if you can see, this page. This is the one we're on. Okay. The GitHub URL doesn't matter so much because you're going to use a custom domain anyways whenever you do publish these. And that is free from GitHub. So we should be able to see that this is connected now, I would think. So let's check it. Yes. So again, there's the GitHub, there's the agency. Here's our products here. Our AI wants to send us to the web shop since we've made it, but we really don't have to do that. Let's do this. Let's do one thing here. I want to just test something. Let's make one new landing page. And we're going to say, let's make it brand new. And we'll say, create a super simple landing page that allows us to take donations of $20 of our prompt engineering playbook, make it as simple as possible, and a real functional checkout. Let's just see. This should work like butter. It should create exactly the page, product, and the checkout. This is what I want to test. Hopefully this is going to work like I want it to. Okay, cool. So let's create, open, publish, master prompt engineering. Yes, this will work. Support our work. Get the access. I think it might not be able to open up right here. So let's open this up in the actual web. Save. And let's try it out. This should work. Oh, why aren't you available? You should be working. Why aren't you working? Let's go to our... We should be able to see it work. We should have the donations enabled. I'll have to check on it. You can also do a paid paywall, which is an interesting thing. So in this case, if we wanted to block this off and make someone pay $10 to access your content, you're able to do that. And click save here. Save. And when we go back to live preview, here's your $10. Click to confirm. Processing, and then you go straight to Stripe. And you would pay the $10. It's not going to open up in our window here. I did just get my Stripe text notification, my link. I could click it and it's going to give you the digits that you need. So you've got super fun things here. I guess the other deal we'll look at is the wallet passes, and shout out Danny for helping me understand the best way to be able to show these passes as far as like how the fields are displayed on the front and back. You have a lot more flexibility now. So give Danny a shout out next time you talk to him. On the back of the pass, you're able to add a label and a field. And this you can add as many as will be accepted upon both Google and Apple. So maybe is that 6 or something? Yeah, 6. So I can add another row, and if it's a link, it'll actually be clickable. If not, you can just have static text or remove it. So that was pretty cool. Gary had a great idea, or was it Greg? Maybe both of you guys had a custom QR code, so you could have that now. Typically, you don't want to change the QR code URL because it's going to pertain to the loyalty club or the pass program. So if it's a punch or if it's points, in general, you don't need to change anything because that QR code is going to be basically assigned to that pass to that person. But if you need to have a custom deal, you absolutely can. The geolocation deal, again, if you don't know about this, you can add, I can choose my location. You can add different locations, basically anywhere in the world. And anyone that has your pass installed on their phone, which is just a single click on Android or iPhone, they're going to get a notification, and you can define what that says here. And so you could put this at your place, when someone's nearby, or think of like a bridge. We have a lot of bridges where I live, from different islands and different land areas. There's plenty of bridges. Imagine driving over a bridge and getting pinged for a special, like a discount or something like that, or a competitor's location. That's also a more of a tactical thought there. You could have many locations, add them. I think you can have up to 10. Is that right? 10 locations. And so that's a really cool lock screen push notification that you can control and make an experience. You also are able to control, depending on what's happening in the membership style pass. There's not much of a journey necessarily. You're not going to define your punches in the same way you would for points. That's more complex. I can show you that though. Let's create a program here. And instead of a punch card, let's use a points card. Okay, and that's going to change up what you're able to do related to the rewards. So in this case, you've got our points. Kim is going to be the one. She's an expert at this point already. Here are some new features, though. You're able to hide or display these primary fields, and typically that's going to have your name very big on the pass. If you don't want that, you can enable these options, and instead of them being visible on the front, they'll just default to the back automatically, which is a nice little feature. And that's a touch that you only get in software when you have good feedback loops between you and your power people that are really using the stuff, that are really selling the stuff. When they need these certain tweaks, like this is a no-brainer. It pretty much always makes sense. So the wallet pass is very powerful. If you've not played in the wallet land yet, let's allow you to do that. This is the punchy card. I don't remember what this one even looks like. You can scan this code, and I think I'll do that myself. And what should happen is when you scan it, in this case, we are at a form. It's got a little matrix background. Again, this is fully customizable. You're able to change the colors and the icon up there. I've got some fun matrix rain, but then you will become a contact, and then you're going to actually get the pass, able to be installed right on your phone with a click. So let's see. I was able to have this work earlier. Boom. Perfect. So there it is. There's our notification. I'm going to do this again, since you can actually see my screen now for once. I'm not fighting with the restream so badly. So here we go. Open her up. And this is the form. Throw my name in there. I could add my email if I want to. I'm going to skip that. And I'll just click Get Pass. Now I'll click Add to Apple Wallet. And here is my card. And here's my punches. I can add that. And boom, I'll get a punch there. Here's my notification. Cool. All right, welcome to Punchy. So now I'm going to go and find my guy here, and I can add another punch. And I should see a notification on my screen here. Perfect. Punch added. You have 1 of 10 punches. So this is where that language customization field in the dialogue will actually be really helpful. And so here, let's do another one. I'll go now and send a message, and I'll say, man, it feels good to be a VIP, doesn't it? So I saw Marissa just got a pre-punch, doesn't it? Okay, so we should be able to send this guy. And this will be a custom notification, and you can broadcast 1-to-1 or 1-to-many. So here's my notification there. Kind of cool. Let's send one to everyone that's joined our club. We've got 15 people now. I'm going to say, just remember, this stuff's so complex. OpenAI had to build a whole company to teach the smartest other companies how to do what you're already doing. We are going to win this. This is a secret message. Only the real ones are going to get. Boom. So send it to all the VIPs, the real ones. Let's see if I get my fun notification here. Just remember. Okay, so I see that I've got, I could click the back of the pass to see. I'm going to look on the pass details and look, I can see the whole thing here clearly. Just remember, this stuff is so complex, blah, 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 blah. That's the latest update. I can scan receipts. This is the interesting thing here. You can scan receipts, and based on a prompt, that self-scanner can actually follow your prompt. So even if you're not connected to the POS, which is the majority of external loyalty programs, you can still make sure that is nearly impossible to scam or double dip, which is like the main biggest concern with loyalty clubs, especially for restaurants. And the POS mafia, the point of sale mafia, they don't like to let other software or applications play a lot of times because it's a big threat to them. They want to have all the customer data. It's just very similar to the Uber Eats and Grubhub, DoorDash. They're very, very stingy when it comes to access because they don't want any threats to their own business or their customers. But if you're a really smart marketer or a business owner, you're able to take advantage of these things in different ways, from Airbnb in the same kind of way. Let's look at another thing that we can do with our passes, maybe. There's something else that Danny brought up. You want to be able to customize this and that. Was it here? Let's see. My wife's like, this is a cool look for the card. Again, you can customize how you want the appearance to be based on the primary fields. But what did I want to show? Was it this one? No. Let's think. Yeah, see, this is the view with the large text on the top. I think this might have been the one. Gang, gang. I don't see it. Basically, you can have an agent attached to one of your cards if you wanted to, but I can't see where I've got that. The way you would do it, let's grab an agent here. Let's get the custom GPT link, and we'll go back into wallet. Let's go to member. Let's move this guy out of the way. And let's go to the back of the pass. Oh yeah, there it is right there. So we've got one. Which one is this one? Should be right there. You guys would never believe where I was earlier today. I might have to tell a story. Is this it? I'm not going to continue to play on here. There it is right there. This is what I'm looking for. This is exactly it. So you've got the join us, the call me, and the custom GPT. So if I click on the custom GPT, that will open up the custom GPT for this agent. Okay, so that's kind of cool. You've got voice mode here by default if you want that turned on. And the cool thing with this mode is you do have the ability to start new conversations, which is kind of cool. Again, all your brand. This can be gated with a PIN code, just like our web pages can. You start a new chat. So that's a different kind of feature. You can just do all the things. All of the things. Let's see, was there anything else we wanted to look at today? Oh, so your Google Sheet stuff, that's what I was really getting to, and I got in the weeds. If I wanted to do this, I could go here to my Google Sheets data sources. I can connect to Google Sheet. Let's look at Ryan's products here. So one we just made. If I want to, I can allow visitors, okay, that could be myself or someone you've given access to be able to both read and write data from your columns. These are the columns from the Google Sheet. It already found the columns. So say I wanted this to be an internal app, you could totally make that happen. And you can actually basically make a CRM that's a personal CRM based on leads captured. I guess that was kind of like the thing that we'll end on. Let's go back to Claude and make him do that. New task: create a new Google Sheet with synthetic data for captured leads. Then create a new landing page with our MCP that will display those leads like a CRM, reading from the Google Sheet. That's what we want to do. So it's going to create the Google Sheet for us. It's going to populate it with some data so it's not blank. And then what should happen is we'll get a personalized CRM that we could actually manage. And what you're able to do that you weren't able to do previously is you would be able to share a public view of something. So like, say it's a menu, it's a great example, and your menu is going to be dynamically priced, or you wanted to swap out images, you'd be able to do stuff like that. Or like a leaderboard is another great example. Say you're running trivia for a long period of time, you'd be able to have a landing page that's public that is updated live in real time from your Google Sheet, which is a cool thing to have. Well, here, this would be, you would provide this link along with password protection or a PIN code or through your allow list, which is also through Google Sheets. So you could run an automation technically and get this done and allow only your client, for example, to have access to this page so that they could actually interact with it. Think of it almost like a checklist style. We should see a pretty good look here. So it's made way too many entries at this point. Made all these things, like freaking out on the examples. How funny is that? Okay, so it's made all the examples, all the Google Sheets. We've done a lot of work today, and we've only played in prompts. That's really cool. Supplements. Let's see what it's playing with now. All right, if you make another one, I'm going to have to cut you off, buddy. 20. I didn't even see that. He's doing 20 of them. Bruh. Too many. I don't want to stop him now. Let's see if he'll get through it. Imagine me typing 20 rows. I would have, instead of 1,800 people watching right now, I would have 0 because that would be so boring. And by the way, shout out to everyone, especially the OGs that actually use some form of speaking instead of typing when you're prompting. If you like typing, cool. But like, it's funny to me to see these demos of the big AI companies, the live demos or the pre-recorded ones. And I can't believe they're not doing that. They're literally typing. They should just be speaking, and you guys are doing it. That's like gonna be the new thing. There's already, who's heard of that program, Whisper? Maybe I'm missing something, but like, man, I can't imagine paying extra for just the speech to text stuff. I'm sure there's something missing on my side. Anyways, so 20 leads loaded. Now building the CRM landing page. And here's the secret sauce. I'll use the platform's linked sheet ID feature that reads the page, blah, 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 blah. The cherry on top, before we even look at the landing page, I'm going to have it post on our social media just to have a mic drop moment. I'll have it make a creative post. I'll have it use ChatGPT images too and post it on all 3 of our channels, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, while we're looking at the thing that it's making for us right now. So it's waiting for the AI to build the thing. So it's got the job ID here. So it's literally generating, which is good. It's going to sleep for 35 seconds is what it's saying. It's the same thing as our pause node. And so before I forget, Let's see what we're doing here. It's been more than 35 seconds. Let's look and see. What did it make? Here's the 20 leads that we got, by the way. All the leads. And what it's going to do, it's going to create a new landing page. But there's going to be a special landing page where instead of me providing this link to the client, which you could do, you know, that's old school. Someone else was another agency owner was telling me that's so like 20 at 20, you know, like to just hand over the Google Sheets link. Kind of ghetto. So now you can do it in a much better way. You can still give that sheet link. And some clients might prefer that. They want that. They just want the raw data because they're going to do their own thing with their LLM maybe. Is it done yet? It's still rocking. The job ID is still going. So your previous message wasn't sent anything, Claude. Chill out, buddy. And so we should be able to see these leads in a UI that it's made on the fly. If you have seen the Google stuff, they've made an operating system that like changes with every click just to flex, just to show what they can do. This is what we've already been doing that for a long time. Waiting for more AI generation. So it's taking some time. That's okay. It still made that. I still can't believe it made the perfect flow. I can't believe it at this point. Let's not lie. I can believe it. Let's look at our projects here. Here's the CRM thing. Look, there it is, dude. It's already done. Did Claude tell me it's done yet? Yeah, so I was just impatient. So let's look from the source itself. Here is this source sheet. Open it up. There's our Google Sheet, just like I said. And here's the live CRM page. Bam. Look at that. Y'all see how fun that is, man? All the things. So, like, to me, this isn't going to go anywhere, is it? Whoa, dude. I did not expect it was going to be like that. And I can call them super easily. The deal value, that's big. So let's see if we can do this. Great job. But I want to prioritize the lead value. And maybe if you can muster the strength, show like a grand total, because the purpose here is we supply this page to our clients and we want them to just like see mega value and be like, I'm never canceling this service because I love to see the results. That's what we want them to think when they see this. And also make the UI a bit more approachable. You're not making this for me. You're making this for the end user. And so they're more like normies, you know what I'm saying? Normies. Let's see what Claude says. He might ignore that. Got you. Pivoting from operator dashboard to client trophy room. Cool. So now he's going to update the thing. Yes, Ryan. Yes, UIonthefly.com. If someone doesn't have that, I'm buying that right now. 18 million. We have all the options. I've lost my brain. Does the appearance update work? Does the appearance update work for both? It'll work as well as it can. So like there's different, this is about the wallet passes. It's a great question. They're not exactly placed in the same way. You know, there's like slight differences between how Wallet and Apple are displaying the fields, and there's primary fields and secondary fields of these passes, and there's clickable links. And so we force certain things, and what our goal is to make things work equally as possible. So you shouldn't have much of any difference in how we allow you to create the passes in the way that you want, so that they're going to be compatible in both ways. You won't be missing something. The only thing that you are going to be missing, this is a small thing. So it'd be nice to have, but when it comes to Apple passes, the iOS passes, when someone installs that, we get basically a notification. So you could do things based on that and work with conditions based on that. But with Google currently, it's not on us. They don't tell you when a pass has been installed. It's like the only difference at this point. Yeah, for the wallet. Yep, good question there. Okay, so we've got this guy updating our thing, and this time it's using major redesign. This page is now so look at it again. I just love to see, and sometimes it doesn't work perfectly the first time, but it's becoming more rare and more rare than just to see Claude just make the perfect prompt at whatever he's trying to do. So we got the job ID. Progress is regenerating 5 sections. Says it'll take 10 to 15 more seconds. Let's see if we refresh. Do we see anything different yet? Look at that, dude. See? Look. Last time synced. So 4 leads this week. Win rate, the value. Boy, I would like to have that 330,000 coming in this week. That'd be nice. That's how you do it. It's still sleeping, but it's already done. So I'm glad I kind of refreshed that. View. We still see the deal kind of the same there. I like that though. I like that a lot. It still might be doing something. Who knows? We got a question here. Let's see. How can we work with the UX team on this? Let's say they follow the framework in Claude or Sigma. How do we stay up with? Well, let's see. In this case, if you can create, if it can be added into your UI here, that's really all you need. If you can grab the code. Okay, so like in this case, it's using our AI to generate the final code. But in your case, as long as you have the ability to drop it in, you could always do that. Literally, I'll come in here. As long as you have it, you can just drop it, right in. Related to their own workflows, I'm not sure what they do necessarily. So it would be something more along the lines of, I would recommend, and if you're the consultant, or if you are bringing the solution, to use the sharing feature. Let me explain how this works, because this is a very complex thing that you're not going to see done in any other way. But in many cases, and what I've experienced also, is you could make a banging project, a banging website or app or whatever, but technically these things are like living things. Like your website should have updates pretty often. I'm not going to be in the business of updating someone's website. We have to update our own stuff, obviously, right? So other agencies and freelancers and big agencies are going to always have, what is the scope? So in this case, you've got a lot of freedom here, especially and specifically if you are a white label, because they're on your domain. And if you start it, then maybe you're getting that subscription fee, and maybe you even own the assets. You're able to invite someone who's already on your platform to be able to have the access to that landing page, to be able to then access through MCP, which I believe that's going to be the way things are done. We're going to see less and less and less of working inside of the UI, which a lot of developers are not going to want me to say that, but that's the truth. They're not going to want you to be touching the UI stuff. Instead, they're going to want you to be using your agent, using your ChatGPT or your Gemini or your Claude, and using the MCP connector to get things done, because it's going to be so much more faster and so much more efficient, and in most cases, so much better. But in this case, we're just going to allow the client or the partner or whoever would be giving you the directions. Instead, you could allow them to say, listen, just go to your ChatGPT, make sure you're connected to my app, and just tell ChatGPT or Claude what you want. Prompt as much as your heart desires. Let it be on them, because you don't want to get in the habit of just going back and forth on all these different changes, unless you're just happy to charge for that, which if that's what you want to do, by all means. You can also choose to make things easy on them. If you are going to allow, models outside of a Claude or a ChatGPT, so you want to use Gemini, or you want to use several different LLMs, but you don't want to be paying for all of those tokens, you can make them use their keys. If you don't want them to worry about having keys, no worries. You can use your own keys. Okay. So if you don't want your client to have a GitHub that they connect to, you could choose, does this landing page, does this website belong to my GitHub or to their GitHub? Okay, like you are now in control totally of what they can and can't do and what you want them to do. And also, do you want to allow them to be able to use the MCP at all? Which I highly suggest that you do. But you would just need to add your email here. And as long as they are already a part of your platform, the moment you hit share, you'll see their name here. And then when they go into their subscription with you or their MCP, this landing page of this project will be available to them to be able to work with it however you've configured, which is a very unique feature, very complex feature. But once you start doing it, you realize it becomes like a necessity, because you're not going to want to be making all the, even though it's easy to make the edits, in my opinion, like if you can just let them do it, that's better. Let them make as many updates as they want. So I know that doesn't answer your exact question with the Figma stuff. I've never really played much with Figma, but as long as you have the code, you could drop it in. But I would suggest, like, unless they're just so into one system, have them buy into your own system. Nice to see you here, Claudia. So nice to see you. What's going on? There's the man. Okay, if a chat has voice but connects to a human, do they respond by voice or text? If a chat has a voice but connects to a human. So in most cases, voice, when you're looking at real, this is a great question. In most cases with voice, the connect to human isn't going to do much, because you're not going to be able to connect on that voice line on a web chat scenario. However, if you are on a phone call, you would be able to transfer to a number based on a scenario or a request. That's a super good question. Let me show you how that works. You can see the scenario number one. Let's look at this agent here. It's connected to all the things. So we can go to channels, phone calls, and it is under AI powered transfers. Okay, so I can click on add an AI transfer rule. This is a department or a person's name. So like this would be, unless you got it on silent, said during the transfer. So you could say HR department. So like when someone asks to be transferred to a human, or they have a problem that you have not been trained on to solve. Okay, so under this scenario, if someone's directly asked to be transferred to a human, or there's a problem that we've just not given the prompt. These models are so smart, they'll understand. Okay, obviously it's better than me just make some crap up. I'll just transfer this person. We're giving them an out. So here you just put in the number, and this would achieve what you'd want to do. It would transfer to human from a voice chat. You could use a function on web chat and you could achieve the same thing. You'd be able to alert someone to your inbox. That might be your best bet. So the function would be called, someone wants to be transferred to a human. You wouldn't have to mess with the built-in version here. I'll get here in case people don't know. Here you have transfer to human. You have a built-in function for this. This is basically taking the place of a flow. So if you enable this, instead of having to have a function enabled for transferring to a human, you would be able to just run any of these actions here that we built in for you. So if you don't want to ever touch a flow builder, you don't have to. You're just limited to the options here, which aren't so limited. You get an SMS, you could get an email, and do a whole bunch of different things. If you need something super custom though, that's when you would want to come into your functions. So you get a prompt engineering here, and you'd have an AI function. You'd enable the function, and this would transfer to a flow, and that flow could do anything that your genius mind can think of. Great question though. All right, guys. What is going on? You got some all sorts of techie stuff going on here. It's already working with Claude's code. So basically we can just add PMG connected. Yeah, that should work. It should just work. That should. If it doesn't, you just let me know. You're a VIP. And so if we need to enhance something, or if we need to make some additional connection, we can do it. Oh man, thank you so much for that. You are amazing yourself. I appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate all of you guys. And keep the suggestions coming. Keep the requests coming. Keep the curiosity coming. We can literally do anything. Let's before I forget, what we'll do is here it is. Let's look at this guy. Forgot about this thing already. Oh, that was horrible. That looks really bad, buddy. You were doing so good. Messed that one up. I'm gonna tell him, right? I'm gonna tell him that too. You know what? That was really bad. Try again. I'm going to let him ride on that. And then I'm going to start a new chat. And before I do, let's go back here and let's see if I can do something fun. I'm going to say, recap what we achieved in 2 lines or less in a positive hype tone. All right, so let's see if we can make some magic happen here. Show you why I did that. That's the chat history from earlier tonight. You closed it, something entirely new. Okay, so I want you to say, what I want you to do is I want you to use ChatGPT image number 2, the best one that they've got, and come up with an epic image that kind of encompasses the chat session, and also a punchy 1 to 2 liner, and let me check it. And once I say it's good, I'm going to have you post it on our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So we'll have Claude make us some content here on it. Checking the skill first. Let's see if this is finished yet. So it's still running. That was really bad. Try again. So it's literally coding this page again, since that's like the worst thing I've seen Claude output ever, honestly. And so now let's come back over here, and it's going to generate our images. So that does prove that you can. I don't know how many tabs you can have open, but you can have a bunch of agentic workflows happening all at once, which is like such a cool thing to see and to know is going to work well. I think you can actually opt in to get notifications from Claude whenever the stuff's done. Y'all are probably laughing at me like, yeah, duh, Ryan. But maybe you can have just several of these workflows going. And if you want, get a notification sent. For us, with PMG and your platform, we can do so much more. You can literally have Claude or ChatGPT call you or text you when something is done, or call or text someone else when something is done. It's, for the most part, if you can think it, Claude can do it in our system. Actually makes it happen for you. I would encourage you, as much as we spend a lot of time making the UI what it is, I would encourage you to do the opposite of what all the other software companies are going to tell you to do, and instead just go super hard in one window. I know some of you like to change your tabs, your tab masters, but please consider it. It's way faster and more efficient in most cases to just have the one thing going on, and maybe switching these tabs is the way to go versus having so much open here. Like, I'm already lost. We did a lot of things today, though. This is a fun one. This is a nice little website here with the form and the webhook. That's what we started off with. That was fun. Made all sorts of pages here. Made a web shop. Looked at prompt stuff. Let's see if this has changed yet. Yeah, way better. Yeah, so look, it says, take a look, tell me what's still off. Happy to keep tightening. See, I could never reply to my bosses like that. Happy to keep on doing the same thing as many times as it takes. even though it's 11 p.m. Claude isn't mad. Claude's not mad. And I did want to say this too, guys. Like, to end that API conversation, we started with like, this is taking such less tokens. The way we're doing things, it's mind-boggling. It really is. But I'd love to hear y'all's experience as you continue to have more with it. That was really bad. Try again. Fair. And so did all the things. 3 commands. These are tool calls. Verify the size. Done. HTML code. Updating the thing. And it looks so good. And this is definitely going to make the client understand, okay, now I get it. Now I get why I pay X amount of dollars a month. So this is what it would look like on mobile, which looks great. And again, this is not just hard-coded data. This is from our Google Sheet, which is great. Look at that. That's so sick. Like, you're gonna so here's the last question of the night. Which one would you rather, provide your client? A Google Sheet, or at least only a Google Sheet, right? Or a Google Sheet. You want to give them this? It's cool if you do. It's cool. Or do you want to give them something like this? Right? So it's a different caliber. If they want the Google Sheets only, great. If they want something custom that they can actually like deal with and work with, maybe that's an additional fee. You have all the flexibility. Okay. And if this is your brand, your domain, make as many as you want. That's the magic of this. Make the agent, make the website, make the automations, and make Claude do all of it. That's how you do it, man. That is how you do it. Make it even easier when you're using Robert's MCPs. He's got a whole system of MCPs like just baked in, like you wouldn't believe. He's going to be joining us on a podcast here soon. But to me, like this is next level. You can have beautiful data going in and have it being viewable to who you want and to who you want only, as often as you want. I want to show you maybe one more thing to restrict access, because that is something that will be important. And then we'll be done, I think. In this case, let's go to our settings and go to security. Let's do a password protection here. What password should we do? We'll just do an easy one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And I'll click save. Okay. So save. We should see. Did it save? Let's check it. I think it saved. Did it? Did it? Where's my password at? Let's look here. We could do our paywall too. That's another good one. Paywall, allow list. We could do an allow list. Let's do, here's my name, only my name could be allowed, for example. Do we want to allow anything else? Security. Enter our password. What did we say it was? 1, 2, 3. So let's verify it. 1, 2, 3. Or is it 1, 2, 3, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one worked. We could add a password here. Enter the, let's say, just do PW. We can change the color, all the different things. The access log will show you when people are accessing things. If you want to have a PIN verification and really make sure you know who's who, you could do that. All of the different things. Basically, you should be able to do anything that you want to do. That really is the goal. I don't want to save anything there. There's our access required here. So there's my email. Let's do that. It's going to ask me for a PIN. So it's just wild what you can do. I'm not going to check my email necessarily, but the options are endless. That's really my point. Yeah, I think that should be it. A massive, almost 300K. That's what I'm talking about. That's a good looking dashboard. I won't lie. If you wanted to make this in a different language, that's just a prompt away. If you wanted to make it multilingual, I think Jose was one of the first people to do that. You could do that. It's just so good, man. This is so good. You can go as deep as you want, add as many pages as you want. The sky's the limit. The only thing that limits you is your creativity at this point. And this is what we've been studying for a long time. Let's see, we've got one more question here. Could we have information go from the landing page back to the sheet as well for the non-technical person? Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, that's the magic. Like, the connection there, what you just hit on, is exactly the magic I was hoping people would see. Yes, you can do that. You can do that from your flow as well. You can go from webhook, which is your flow. Anything that you want to do, you can do. And the thing that we brought today, which will continue to improve for sure, as you guys ask us to, is when you are going here and you click on Google Sheets as a data source, you can enable the edits. This is literally what you're asking for right here. So these are the columns to the Google Sheet. You can enable the ability to read and write. So yes, to answer your question, yes, you can do that. It's a genius question, and I'm glad you asked it. Call, text, email, drive, push, all the things, man, and more on Claude. All right, guys. Yeah, take a breather. I appreciate y'all for hanging out. Hopefully this has inspired you. And hopefully you just know that you can do literally anything. If you can think it, trust me, Claude can put it out there, or ChatGPT, or your own native agents. And the best part is, this is only going to get better. Even if we did nothing, even if you did nothing, I promise you, as the LLMs get better, your agents are getting better, your landing pages are cleaner, they're going to be faster, your websites are going to show up better because the SEO is going to also improve with the way that we've got things. I understood what Sam Altman and others have said, is if your business is based on what LLMs are not good at currently, that they'll eventually get good at, it's not going to be a business for a very long time. But however, if your business has a backbone that will only improve as the LLMs also improve, we're going to be good for a while. And that's what I think is going to happen. And I think that we're all going to be very happy with our choices to be leading experts in the world of AI today. Thank y'all for watching. See you next time. Peace.